situation for there. If you put in renters, you're gonna. I mean, it's like a negative, like numbers wise.
Yeah, totally. And then if the renter doesn't pay, then you're completely negative cash flow. AKA. So. Yeah, completely. Yeah, I totally agree. But when you go out to Indianapolis, I might join you just because I'm curious. I got a buddy who's from Ohio, just outside of Cleveland, and he's been looking at some stuff, and I'm just like, man, that's so cheap. It's insane.
Yeah, we got to take a road trip. A bunch of guys from Hawaii just go hit up on the Midwest markets or something. It might be like a fun thing to do.
You know what? That's not such a bad idea. Corey and I were thinking about doing a mastermind one a quarter this year, and just gathering whoever like come together and just talk and hang out and eat stupid food and talk stupid stories and share ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so that would be pretty cool.
That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
And we're gonna look at some haunted houses on the way. I mean, that's like even more fun, So
we can do it. We could also all jump into. We'll get a bunch of RVs and just drive from state to state. Would be a blast.
That would be a lot of fun.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Let's do it.
Daniel, I have a question for you. Excuse me if you don't mind if I interrupt. Have you ever been in a haunted house or looked at a property that you felt was haunted and had any kind of like bad dreams or anything from it afterwards? Because I just looked at one and I experienced it. So
no, I mean, like my one trip to Indy, we went to look at a bunch of houses, and some of them were like with the guy we were with, he had a gun, and like some of them were like really like they're super sketchy. So he like when he pounds the door, he's like, "Hello, is anyone inside?" And he's like, "I've got a gun," and everything. I mean, they're just squatters and just some sketchy like neighborhoods, and so it just that's my consideration of a haunted house. So
okay.
Nothing like spiritual or nothing.
Mine's a little different. It's more of a spiritual thing, and it's kind of freaky. But I just thought I'd ask. And by the way, it was a really good presentation you put on the other day with Ask Alex. Thank you. I enjoyed that. Thanks, you guys, for letting me interrupt.
Oh,
yeah. Was that in person, Daniel, or was that like a webinar?
No, it was like my one trip to Indy. We went to look at a bunch of different houses in a bunch of neighborhoods, and yeah, we were like, it was fun though. I mean, like some excitement, So.
Yeah, for sure. Did you guys get to meet up at all?
What do you mean?
When Alex was here, Alex Camacho, is he on the line?
Yeah. We met up, over here. I think you're invited, Corey, but you're too cool for us, he said, so.
I know, I had a dinner I couldn't miss.
Right on, next time.
All right, here we go.
Next time. Well, at least Corey got invited. I never got one text, so that's all good. Oh, good. What's happening in Richie's world? What's Richie doing these days?
Just staying consistent, man. I got one in escrow on the sell, and we're closing one up on the buy next week.
Sweet. What location did you sell?
That's the condo I have in town.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. Condos are nice because you don't have to deal with landscaping and roof and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was fast. It was easy.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich, is it that condo, Hawaii Kai?
No, that one I still kind of stuck on, but
okay,
not that one.
Say, wow, if it was that one, man, that sounds great.
I know. I wish, man. I wish. It'll be done soon. We're moving along on that one too, but.
Which condo in Hawaii Kai?
The penthouse I have in the Esplanade.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Esplanade's nice.
Yeah.
If you ever pick up one of those waterfront townhouses in, what is that thing called? Moorings? Is that First Complex? You ever see one of those? I used to live in there, and now I'm all nostalgic. I like buy it back. Yeah. But they're so expensive now. It's so funny. But that's awesome. So where'd you buy at?
Oh, we're buying in Kailua.
Oh, right on. It's a good location. Single family?
Kailua? Sorry. Did you say Kailua?
Yeah.
Kailua, you said.
Get your permits, bro.
Yeah, I know. We talked about that already. Yeah, for sure.
My goodness.
No, we'll figure that one out. We got it.
Yeah, I know you get it.
That sounds like Dodge has got some good stories with Kailua. We're gonna have to show us out later. It'll be good.
He shared that with me. We're sharing permit stories and
Yeah.
violation stories.
You know, we should do a whole episode of Coffee Talk one day where we all just share our permit nightmare stories. Because
Yeah,
I think
I'm
we've
sure
all
everyone's got great ones.
oh,
Not enough
yeah.
time.
Knock up 4 hours, bro, Kiko.
Yeah, not enough time.
I know, right? We'd have to do a whole mastermind, 5 days where we just go around and cry and laugh and
Yeah.
hug and then cry some more. That's all makes us better, yeah. So it's awesome. It's cool.
We gotta bring the mayor. We gotta bring the mayor to the mastermind.
Yeah.
You know, one of us should become the mayor. Wouldn't that be great? We should be mayors of all the different areas that we're gonna flip houses, and then bam, done.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Who's
Good,
gonna?
Richie, you're up, bro.
Okay,
Richie for
everybody.
mayor.
Yeah,
Richie for mayor.
and from now on, we're constitutional carry too.
Yeah.
I love it.
I knew that was coming.
Mayor Baggio.
But Richie's not going to be on Maui, bro. So, or no, you're not on Maui. So you're actually good. You're good. Keith is good.
All right.
Right on. Keone's jumping in. Oh, look at that. Richie's already got votes. Edgar's on board. Wow. Look at that. Sweet, man. You're already elected and you haven't even officially declared. Keone, Richie is running for mayor in case you like catch up. Or if you like run for another area.
He's gonna push all our permits through.
Yeah. It's going to be perfect.
I'm all for that.
All right, on Daniel. Thanks. Daniel voted for me too.
Oh, wow. You get 2 votes already.
How are we looking? Is there more guys coming in?
Yeah, we can start anytime. We're already recording. So it's good. Friday in February, which is exciting.
How cold is it over there right now?
Where I'm at in Washington. It's not that bad. The snow's done. So today is 40, 45, which I know is crazy because in Hawaii, when it gets to 70, we say stupid things like it's freezing and we turn on our butt warmers. So, you know, out here, man, I've got an electric blanket. I've got a heater under my desk.
Of course you do, bro.
It's beautiful. I'll be in Vegas this week. Are you coming? You're going to meet me in Vegas?
No.
Come on. It's going to be nice and warm over there. I think it's 55. Woohoo.
Do we have anyone in Texas, Dallas, Texas? Or
we used to, but no more power. They can't get on.
I know. I heard about that.
It's crazy. My in-laws are down there. They're like, it was frozen and they didn't have power, and then the power came on and the water froze, so then they exploded in the water, and then now the water's off. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, is this a first world country, or we suddenly went third world? Crazy.
Yeah, and then the guy Ted Cruz, right? He was caught kind of flying south to Cancun.
Can't blame him.
News.
Can't blame him. That's awesome. Well, should we get started?
Let's do this.
Right on. Welcome everybody. Happy Friday. Anybody got any good little stories or anything encouraging or kind of a exciting report you'd like to give about something that you just done?
Any good deeds in our needs and good deeds? I know a bunch of people. I gotta start coming to the call with like a list of things that I get through the week that like kind of give me inspiration from what I watch, everybody doing their thing. Who's in the chat? Oh, it's all the voters for Richie.
Yeah, I just want to say something about good deeds, and I'm not going to go into detail, but we are in a people business, yeah, and lately I've been experiencing a lot of relationship things going on, and I just want to say, man, we just got to do the right thing all the time. So be good, and the good comes back. So, and yeah, keep all those good relationships good, because you don't want to lose those. But that's all. I'm not going into details. Just had some pretty cool experiences the last couple weeks.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's 100% correct.
I got one to share.
Yeah, let's
Mike?
go.
Edgar actually hasn't heard about this, but our recent rehab, the demo team was over there hard at work, yeah. And they found some boxes of Marvel, DC comic books, baseball cards, basketball cards. There was a lot. So I was like, you know what? Am I gonna load this in my car, or am I gonna give it to these guys? As you know, just appreciation for what they're doing, right? I'm sure there's some cards in there. What I did, I spent like half an hour going through some cards. Some of them like $5, $10, but there's a lot, yeah. So I told the guys, hey, you guys want this? They're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, just if you guys hit like $1 million in there, just remember who you got your cards from. So or what?
Yeah.
I just let that one go. But there was quite a few.
Man, you'd be surprised how much some of those go for right now.
Yeah.
That was a good deed, bro. Cheers to you. Right on, Dodge.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers right back.
Hey, I was talking with Jason at our signing about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're signing with Jason too, yeah?
Yeah. Last couple of transactions was with Jason. So good guy.
Nice.
So
right on. Was perfect timing because I can't wait to get into what you and Edgar have for us today. And but before that, does anybody have anything they need? Any deals on the line they need money? Or anyone that has money that needs deals, needs their money to get placed to work for them, then feel free to unmute and speak up now. Let's see. Keith, are you still looking to close that deal in the North Shore?
Yeah, so I think we have the money that we need. We have a first plan, we have a second backup plan, we have a tertiary plan in case both of them go to hell.
Nice. What's the exit strategy on that one again? Flip?
Retail flip, yeah.
Okay. Oh, is it you just gonna clean it up and kind of put it on the market, or are you gonna go all the way?
All the way. It's fully gutted right now. There's nothing in it.
Nice.
It's to the studs, so we're gonna be finishing it.
All right. Well, I know Brother Richie and Brother Keone is looking for some gap funding, unless you guys got them already. So reach out to them.
Got it covered.
Got them?
Got it covered.
Okay.
Always looking for more money though.
Got it covered, but we always need money.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Right on.
Daniel, good deed. Daniel at our signing, he just always takes extra time to help give value always. I think a lot of the people in our network do that. And I was trying to skip trace a number for a client who wanted to buy the house across from them. And he's like, no, just use my login, just use mine. And just always like giving. And I was really, really appreciative of that because I don't do it often. So I don't need it all the time. And also like, I obviously have companies, so I need like flowcharts and how to organize and stuff like that. And he just opens up his computer and he just shows me, a free Google flowchart. What's the name of it, Daniel?
Draw.io.
Yeah. That. And it was like, I could just give it to my assistant and then she could just do flowcharts, which just, if anyone is trying to create no matter how big or small your business is, you should always have some type of operations manual, some type of visual, either for yourself that you can put on the wall, whether it's your goals or just how you process and what your process is. Because if you ever want to bring someone in as a mentor or someone to help, they can just see your process, and who has time for that? And if you don't have a VA or an assistant, just all those little things just take so much time to just draw a box and then a little arrow, and we just don't have time. So this app was just like dummy proof, which I totally need. And it was so small, but it really was impactful. So thank you.
Thank you too. Actually, appreciate it.
Yeah, Daniel is a true go-giver, man. I have stories with Daniel too. And Alex and I remember Alex was up for over 24 hours. I couldn't hang, but when we were starting our company, we were building out the infrastructure and the processes. And Daniel pretty much stayed up with us. Alex, I have video of Alex telling you, you better go, dude. You had dinner with the wife and you're running late already. Like we had to kick you off the phone. So yeah, always be thankful to you, Daniel. Thank you for helping us early on.
Daniel, you're the best. Truly. We had to kick him out. He had to leave. He was like, "Oh, it's gonna be okay." No, you gotta go, brother. You gotta go.
And Richie too, him and his wife, it's not real estate related, so it's not, I don't know if it's applicable to here, but I'm vegetarian. So I always make my milk, or I would make my milk and blend the nuts and use a cheesecloth bag to just strain them. And it'd be such a mission. It was such a pain in the butt. And Richie and his wife bought a nut maker, a milk maker, and you press the button in like 60 seconds. You just have wonderful frothy milk for like a week. And he just came to the office one day out of the blue and just dropped off this nut maker. So not real estate related, but it saves me time to find deals and to work for people because I'm not spending like an hour making milk. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Richie. Like that's like the best gift she ever got. So now you kind of raised the bar a little high, or thanks, bro. No, she loves it.
That's for not inviting me to your pool parties that you guys have every day.
Oh yeah, sorry. We were protecting you.
Kiana sends us invites.
All right. Well, if anybody has anything they need that they think of while we're going through, just drop it in the chat or unmute and speak up. But today wanted to bring on Dodge, Edgar, and Dulcie as well as a team and talk about like what they got going on, because I always love kind of watching your guys' posts on social media because some of the projects you do are pretty gnarly, like I look at them and be like, man, I don't know if I want to touch that, and then you see the after photos and it's amazing, beautiful, and you can tell that you guys really dove in and took the design to the next level, and I take inspiration from that, and I see some things in there. I'm like, wow, that's a great idea. Like, look what they did over here, So I think we have a lot to learn, from their experiences and some of the deals that they've done, even maybe some of the headaches. Because I know, like we all know, you take on a tear down project like that, it's not like a regular fix and flip project, right? So I just wanted to bring them on and introduce them and hear some of the stories, the good ones and the bad ones, if you have any, to share, and maybe talk about a deal or something that you guys are in or you've done recently and you want to share some of the numbers and everything that came around, that any learning lessons, So Dodge and Edgar and Dulcie, why don't you guys please tell us how you guys got started. Dodge, I know you have a great story. If you'd like to start and share first.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, I just wanted to thank you guys for the opportunity. I don't know, I'm kind of nervous right now. I'd rather be in front of a seller than in front of you guys. Kind of weird. Yeah. I used to be scared of talking to sellers, which I'm not. But I just feel blessed to be part of this group. I know a few familiar faces here, a lot of really good people that are crushing it. So it's a humbling experience to share this floor with you guys. So, but yeah, so Ashley knows how I got started because she was the first person that I reached out to that gave me time of her day. Because when you first start, and I'm sure all of us had that experience, it was like when you tell people what you're doing, they're like, oh, okay, whatever. But when I talked to Ashley the first time, I knew she was the person that I could work with. So I started real estate investing. It was November of 2016. And it was funny because I went to the Fortune Builders. That's who I joined, was with Fortune Builders. They had a 3-day seminar. I just dropped off my wife and family, my daughter and her family, to the airport. They were going to Disneyland for vacation. So, and I was still a full-time student at UH. And so I went to the seminar, and immediately I was sold, right? And they told me what the buy-in was. I was like, oh, wow, I don't even have that money. So, and my wife's not even here to consult with and things money, yeah? So I just put her on a plane to go to Disneyland, and I decided to make that investment and bought into that mentorship. And I didn't have money, but I had a lot of credit cards. So I maxed those credit cards out, got in, and I live in North Shore. So the drive from town to North Shore is about an hour. This one seemed like an eternity because I was driving home, role playing in my head. How am I going to tell my wife? Because I'm sure she's probably going to use some of those credit cards at Disneyland, and they're maxed out, right? How am I going to explain to her all the knowledge I gained in 3 days in a single phone conversation, right? So I was role playing from that drive from town all the way to North Shore. And then when I got home,
love the fact that you're role playing a conversation to sell your wife. I love it.
Yeah.
We've all done that in one way or another, and
okay.
Most of us were justifying stuff that we bought, like, oh, I bought a car or I did this. But I mean, you're making an investment in the future, but still, yeah, I think it's awesome. So,
well, how much was it, Dodge? It wasn't cheap. I know that.
It was $50,000.
$50,000.
$50. That's it.
So, anyways, yeah, that's what I did, and I'm a full-time student at UH, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah. So it was took forever to drive home that night, but to my surprise, she was all for it. She was very supportive. She said, I trust you. You're always thinking about things you want to do, and this is one of them, and I'm going to support you. So I'm glad she was on board, because I wished she was there with me, because it would have been easier, right? She would have seen the value, but no, I missed the opportunity. All I had was to do it on a phone call. Anyways, so I did that, and I hit the ground running. I decided to pull out of school, drop out of college, and go into this new venture of real estate investing. I'll tell you this, all my other family members, my siblings, they thought I was crazy. They say, hey, go get your money back. But I realized one of the main things I had to change was my mindset, right? And some of them were, they're looking out for me, but I understood that, but I don't think they saw the value that I saw. So it took me 6 months, and I got my first deal. Was actually I won an auction online. I was surprised no one else saw it. So I bought this property out in Haleiwa, and reached out to Ashley to help me with the transaction, and she also helped me with the sale. But I bought it for about $360. Put 80 in it, and then sold it for $720. So I netted netted before taxes about 180. So awesome. That was my first deal. So
you paid the credit card off.
Oh yeah, automatic. It was gone already. So I got this check, and I call it the shut up check, right? So I showed my siblings and family members, and I said, hey, shut up. I got it right over here. So anyways, they're the ones calling me about deals. I'm like, wait a minute. You're not going to be in my deals. You're going to be my private money lenders. You missed that boat where you could have been a real estate investor, but you can invest in my deals as a private money lender. So
tell them it costs 50 grand.
Yeah, I know, right? So, but anyways, that's actually my home run. I actually haven't gotten another big deal like that, but it takes time. yeah, that's how I got started. So I was grateful for the opportunity, and between then and now, you think you're gonna be like, oh, everything's gonna be cherry, right? But all of us, we have our ups and downs. Had a few deals, kind of didn't go out as we planned, but we live
Hey,
and learn.
Josh, can I ask you a couple questions on that deal before you go too far?
Yeah.
Because that was your first deal, yeah?
Yeah, correct.
There's a lot of people on our coffee talks that are brand new, haven't even done a deal yet. So a couple of questions kind of from a new standpoint. So how did you get financing for a deal like that? But let's back it up even farther, because you bought it at an auction, which most people, when they're new to real estate investing, auction is a scary thing to think about, because like, how do they work? You can't see the property. So tell us a little bit, if we can, just dive a little deeper into that story, because I think you got some gems there that we can learn from.
Okay.
In terms of like, so where did you go? Which site did you go for the online?
Absolutely. So I got that deal on Hubzu, online auction, but it wasn't actually an auction. It was listed for sale on Hubzu, and they were asking, like, I think at the time about 600,000. So, and I'm like, man, this is Haleiwa, right? It's right there in Haleiwa, not too far from Haleiwa Beach Park, and I live down the road, so I knew the area really well. So I was confident in the area. So I made my offer, and the bank rejected it because it was a real. It was already foreclosed. The bank owned it, and they used the Hubzu to list it. So it was a back and forth process, and then they rejected me. I don't know. I think I submitted it 3-4 times, and they kept rejecting me. And I'm like, you know what? No one's looking at this. I'll take my time doing this game of, offer rejection.
And so they were rejecting you because of your price, not your qualifications?
No, yeah, it was my price. Yeah. So they were asking 600, and I was throwing like 300 at them. 300. Yeah.
I like it. Pake special, bro.
Yeah. So it wasn't until I was at the water park with my family, and I got a notification saying they dropped the price, right? They did a price reduction. I'm like, you know what? I got you guys now. So I went back to my 300, and to my surprise, I was expecting a rejection. They actually countered me. I'm like, okay, they countered me, right? So that means they're willing to negotiate here. So I said, hey, meet me in the middle. So I went to 362.5, I think it was. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know what's gonna happen. And to my surprise, they accepted it.
So when you get on Hubzu, do you need to have a pre-qualification letter? Did you have to sign up to kind of get pre-approved bid?
Sorry about that.
We got the same ring. I'll look at my phone.
Sorry about that. I thought I turned it off, but no. So basically, you just sign up and you enter your credit card information so you can register to bid or submit an offer.
So that way you can tell your wife later you just spent $362,000.
Yeah, that I didn't have, right? So, but yeah, I just fill out the forms, and then from there they sent me the contract, and then they asked me for $7,000 for EMD, which I didn't have $7,000. I just went drop 50. I didn't own. Now I got to drop another 7 I didn't own, right? And then I got to find 300 something thousand. So, and part of Hubzu, they you can pick how many days to close. So I went the max. The max days they gave me was 25 days to close it.
Oh, it's quick.
Yeah. So I signed my life away with 25 days, and I put down 7,000 again with money I didn't have at the time. I went and took out a personal line of credit from the bank.
Nice.
I took that money, put it in, and then I had 25 days to raise 360 something thousand plus 80,000 for rehab. So I had the contract signed. Now I got to go raise the money. So I'm like, you know what? They taught me about hard money lenders and private money lenders. I didn't have anyone lined up, but now I have the contract. Let's see if the money follows the the deal, right? So I approached 2 hard money lenders. I got one locked up, and then I just needed a gap funder. So the gap funder was Fortune Builders has a mastery Facebook page for just Fortune Builder members. I went in there and I just blasted my deal looking for gap funding, and I offered ridiculous money for it. You know, I think I said, hey, I'm needing to raise 150,000. I'm willing to do like 20,000 in points, $20,000 for points, and then 15% on the 150. So the 150 I factored in. I needed that to cover the rehab and my holding costs, because I didn't want to stress out trying to figure how to maintain this mortgage, right? Because again, I didn't have any money at the time. So yeah, it worked out pretty well. That's how I raised the money. Was I found the gap funder through that Facebook page, and they came at crunch time. I think we barely made the 3 days for funding. You know, we had to get it 3 days before closing. Yeah, we got it in, and then yeah, so we bought it, and this was all sight unseen. I never seen the property, just the photos. I drove by it. They had the gate up. I couldn't see inside. So, but yeah, that's how I raised the funds. It was
Awesome.
Our money and private money.
Yeah, and for people who've never used Hubzu, so you wire the money in, and then all of a sudden, what do? Send you a little package of keys and say, "Hey, good luck, God bless." You just bought yourself something that you never got to see.
Yeah. So we went to the closing table. You know, we signed the closing docs. I didn't get a key. They said figure out how to get in the house. So yeah, so we got title ownership, and then yeah, we just went. Busted the door in and got in.
That's awesome.
What Dodge is leaving out, and he drove by before taking occupancy of his property. And just when you're evaluating a deal, you look at, you know, your neighborhood, because your neighbors determine your resale value, right? The neighbor was so wild, lots of drugs, they would shower, they would put a hose and they drilled it to the post outside of this very like crappy looking house right out front. So his property was a flag lot down a very narrow road in a flood zone area that had it was a second story. So the whole downstairs was built with so when you're in a strong flood zone, your downstairs should be breakaway walls and no electrical, because if there's a flood, it needs to be able to break through. So it wasn't built to code. It wasn't built to permit. It was a very, very narrow road. So like if anyone, these neighbors would just literally drive down there and just park. So you couldn't get in and out of the street. So doing open houses was nearly impossible. And he still bought this property without having any idea what the inside looked like, which ended up being pretty cherry on the inside. But the neighbor was showering this very large woman in her bra, who that like, just everything was hanging out, and like she would just shower outside in the street, and the kids were like just untamed, and they just had drug marks all over them. It was the most interesting way to sell the property when we had open houses and showings. They'd be like, yeah, my client's super interested, this is gorgeous. There's just like these people showering in the street, like shouting at each other, so like we're just not sure, like how bad are they? I'd be like, well, I mean, you see it.
Yeah, well, they're not hiding anything, that's for sure.
They weren't friendly either. They weren't friendly.
So Ashley had her work cut out in selling it, and we actually got multiple offers and over asking. So she did a great job in
I don't know how.
But in fact, one of those neighbors, and this is why it's key, you got to go talk to your neighbors, get to know them. So I got to know them when we were in escrow, and I found out that they were actually in distress. So, and then I was trying to work with them, and then the property sold it. So I had like really no leverage to keep going there. Ended up Jonah Kogan bought that one of the neighbors right next door, and he flipped it like a few years back, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so I was right next door. So I set the ARV for Jonah's flip right there. So worked out really well. But again, guys, key is follow up. Don't let those leads fall through because
You missed that one.
yeah, you'll miss that one. So we had a few Richie and Keone. We gave it to them. So let's just say that. But
That's
all
awesome.
good though. Nah, just kidding.
You got any handy pictures, Daj, of that project?
Oh yeah.
Or did you guys have did you have another deal to talk about today, or? And I want to open it up to Edgar too, but
yeah, we'll turn the time over to Edgar while I look for the.
You don't have to do that.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Edgar and Dodge and Dulcie because when we first started our fund, Keiko Capital, they they took the leap just like how Dodge took the leap on pretty much everything. It sounds like he just jumped right in and took the leap with us and trusted us he was one of our first loans along with Richie, Keone, and Dustin. So I always appreciate the guys who trusted us. And it's funny because I kind of just met you, Dodge, before we closed that loan. And of all places, I met you in Vegas at the Fortune Builders Conference, right? I remember it's in where was that? Mandalay Bay, I think. Mandalay Bay. They have that massive escalator that just goes you can't even, it's like so hot, like so long. So it takes forever to get up there. I think we're on the escalator at the same time. I heard someone call my name just from behind. And Ashley was telling me, oh, try to look for Dodge, like out there, you should meet him. And yeah, by the way, Ashley kept telling me, you got to look at Dodge, how Dodge rehabbed this thing. He's a new investor, but you guys got to do it like this and that. I'm like, okay. So he's lifted the standard up for us too. So, which is great. And so like, I hear my name called and I see you, and then I realize, oh, this is you, this is Dodge. And then we ended up going to Top Golf and just building a relationship, and you're such a great guy and cool under pressure. And I see what you guys do. It's amazing work. So, but thank you and Dulcie and Edgar for, jumping in with us and letting us close our first loan with you guys out there. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Corey, I want to point out a couple things about Dodge's story that I think is pretty inspiring for all of us to not skip over. And that is, one thing, Dodge, I think you did really cool is, being brand new, is you were super resourceful. And I think as new investors, resourcefulness is super important. So when you're starting off, you got to be looking all over the place, including Hubzu and other auctions and off market and on market. So I think that's exciting that you basically went and you found a venue to find a deal, and you didn't give up. You had no idea what you're doing. You had no money. You didn't even have earnest money, but you just kept making offers and kept going. And that persistency pays off, $180,000 worth of a payoff. So I think persistency is huge. The other piece is that you were not afraid of giving away the farm to get your first deal. Too many new investors I know are so hung up on making a profit that they're just so conservative. They're like, well, I'll give you 5%, or and they're being real shrewd about the generosity piece. And Corey and I always talk about how generosity always it kind of just exponentially brings on more prosperity. And you're an example of that, because 15% plus $20,000 up front, man, I would do that deal if you had called me. That's a great deal, but at the same time, you gave a lot away, but you did it because you knew that in order to take that next step, you needed to make sure you had what you needed to have, and you weren't afraid to take those risks. So I think for new investors, that's such a huge lesson to learn. And your generosity obviously has just become a part of who you are, which is exciting. Buying houses sight unseen as your first home, I would highly not recommend that to anybody ever. But the fact that you did it, I think it's in some ways it's like a little scary. But the second is that sometimes it's location, right? You knew North Shore was going to be great no matter what, and you knew at $300 and some $1,000 you couldn't even buy empty land for that amount on the North Shore. So I think that if anybody ever has to buy sight unseen, is always go back to location and then double checking it. And then making sure that you're in a rising market. That would be a really sad thing to do in a down market. Right now, we're all doing good on Oahu and really anywhere, but who knows how long that'll last. But I think those are pretty cool gems that I took away from your story.
Yeah, and really, there's so much. Actually, there's so many learning points from your story, Dodge. One that I can think of, and I was just talking to Sheena last night about this. Sheena's on our team as well, and you know how you said your family kind of was a little like reserved. They're telling you to get your money back and stuff, and you know, sometimes you have to protect your dreams, you know, and sometimes the people closest to you who love you the most, they're the ones that will be there, maybe trying to tell you to go get your money back, you know, because they love you, so they're afraid. They don't want to see you fail. They don't want to see you lose money, you know. So you got to kind of know who to talk to and who to share your dreams with sometimes. And sometimes you have to protect your dreams, even from your closest loved ones, you know, and it's not anything on them. It's just, they love you. They care about you. They don't want to see you get hurt and lose money. Right. So, but that's why we have a family, like this coffee talk call, where we can, you know, we all have the same mindset. We're here for each other, and we can share our dreams openly, and everyone can get behind you, you know. So there's so many learning lessons, but that's one that kind of stuck out to me when you said that, especially since I was just talking about this last night. So thank you for sharing that, Dodge. And I just want to throw it to Edgar and Dosi as well. I know Dosi is kind of on the road, but Edgar, how'd you get started? And tell us your story.
Well, thanks for inviting me, and happy to be here. A lot of familiar faces and a lot of new faces for me too. Apologize, just like Dodge, a little nervous. I'm a little bit of an introvert, so I'll try my best to work through this. Similar story between me and Dodge. A Fortune Builder member, same time frame, and why I got into real estate. My wife told me to do so.
Don't see there. So.
Well, I was losing my mind with my W-2 employer at the time. You know, I did 18 years in retail, various positions, leadership roles and whatnot. And I was literally losing my mind. So my wife said, well, you got to do something about it. So she signed me up for Fortune Builders, and just
nice.
All right,
go down that path. Yep. And you know, my first deal is actually very similar to Dodge's as well. So my first deal was an auction. Super nervous. I actually bought it over on my phone. I was on my way to a boot camp in San Fran, and when I took off from Honolulu, I was the lead bidder. And when I landed, you know, I was second, or I lost that lead position. And before I disembarked the plane, I put in a couple more last-minute bids, knowing what my MAO was, and I won the auction. I have a feeling I know who the other person that was bidding against me. In the Fortune Builder world, we call her the Queen of Kaneohe, Deborah. I don't know if you guys know her, but she wouldn't admit it, but I have a feeling it was her, because she took a auction.com property off my hands in Waianae. So if it was her, I'm glad I gave it back to her. No, but yeah, it was a easy flip off Mountain View Terrace in Kaneohe off Kahuhipa Street, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and you know, is countered a lot of challenges, such as going over in terms of renovation budget. And fun part was trying to raise the funds. You know, family wasn't there, and naturally, right, they're all hesitant. And again, similar story to Dodge, and you know, telling me that what I'm doing is high risk type of business, and you know, that's fine. Just kept trucking and talked to as many friends as possible, and some of them were able to help me out on that deal. Networked as much as possible, and met a guy named Adam Horry, local broker, and he was able to help me out with hard money on that one, and that was pretty cool. You know, he knew I was a rookie, and you know, he was kind enough to walk me through my first deal. So,
funny story. Adam is we're gonna be working with Adam closely on the conventional side. So I know Adam real well, and in fact, he got the office right next door to ours. So yeah, he's gonna come down.
No judgment whatsoever. You know, he gave me the time of day. You know, we had an appointment, had lunch, and so great guy. Let's see here. It was a successful deal at the end, and it's actually the next deal I was really happy about. where we were able to get start negotiating on acquiring a 8-unit apartment house or apartment building in Oahu, and that's where me and Dodge crossed paths. I met him at a Fortune Builder event, a local event, and I felt like that deal was a little too much for me, being extremely green, and I felt I needed to beef up the team. So I gave him a call and told him, hey, let's tackle this together. Knowing that his background and skill set is very different from mine, and when I felt like I was lacking, and since then we've been jamming since. And Dulcie's she transitioned out of her career of being a dental hygienist. She's been in the dental industry just as long as I was in retail, and now she's full-time realtor with locations. Yeah.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a pretty short recap of the beginning.
Well, yeah, thank you guys for sharing your stories. Like, I think everyone on this call has a story, and I wish we could hear it all from everybody, and because it's very inspiring. And when we did that loan for you guys on Prospect, that one I knew like we were gonna wholesale it. I mean, we were either gonna go forward on our own and take it down ourselves, or just wholesale it and do the loan. And but it was a heavy job, like that one. It had big problems with the sewer. And so I kind of put it out there, and then Ashley was like, why don't you call Dodge, and I was like, you know what? That's a great idea, because I seen your guys' work on the Manoa one. You guys were kind of just wrapping it up, and I saw like what it was before. I was like, man, if you could do that, you could do this for sure, because I wasn't going to just wholesale that deal to anybody, because that was a pretty intense one, and I kind of told you that beforehand too. I was like, hey, there's major problems with the sewer. This is like, there's a lot of work, termite damage, everything. And, but you took it on, and I think you guys exited that one already, right? Kind of got it permitted and sold it, right?
We're actually in escrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were actually ready to come on a market, and we came on right when the pandemic hit us last year.
Yeah.
So this is our first deal that listed over 2 mils. So we're playing in a space that we weren't familiar with. So we knew to expect longer days on market, and so we were finally in escrow. We took it off just before the holidays, just kind of because I know holidays people focused on other things, and so we took it off the market and then reset it. We came back on the market last month, and then we're in escrow now. So
is that the Manoa one?
Yeah, that's the Manoa project.
Okay. The Prospect one you guys sold already, right?
Yeah, that one we sold. So that one we ended up selling it retail as is. So just kind of give everyone some context here. So Corey reached out to us about this property in Prospect, and it needed major work, and the major work was it needed to be connected to city and county sewer line. So, and I haven't done that. We haven't done any of that type of permits. So we're like, you know what? Let's try it. So we went in, and but before we did that, we had to make sure that we had some exit strategies available to us. So, obviously the by default, the first one we wanted to do was to fix and flip it. Second was, if we can't sell it, we'll hold on to it and turn it into a rental because it's in a great location. And then the third one is just to sell it as is. So our permit literally has taken us 17 months. So and our loan with you guys and our private money was obviously 12 months. So me and Edgar, had that conversation. Like I think we're like 9 months in. We're like, you know what, we need to figure out what to do here, because right now we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel with permits, because when you talk to those guys, they're like, we don't know how long it will take, right? And I already tried pulling some strings, I know, and but it didn't work. So we ended up putting it on the MLS just before our note was due. And thankfully, and that's why it's great to work with Keiko Capital, was they normally when you do an extension for a hard money loan, you got to pay points, right? So when I reached out to Keko Capital, they're like, hey, how much time do you guys need? And we're like, right now we're in escrow, maybe 3 months. And they're like, okay, we'll give you 3 months extension for free. I'm like, what? Who does that, right? So I was grateful for Keko Capital and the team because they helped us with that extension for free. So we ended up needing another extension because the buyers were getting a rehab loan, FHA rehab loan. So escrow took a little bit longer, but we were able to sell it and pay off everyone and made a little money ourselves. So that was a unique property. We wish we could have flipped it, but we didn't have the time to do it. So we went with our third exit strategy and sold it as is.
Yeah. And that's why, and I remember that too, because I remember on the second time for the extension, you called, I think, and you're like, oh man, I might need another extension, and I think it was like a point or two or something. And you called me, I was like, okay, well, when's the closing date, supposed to be? I think it was only like 5 days away or something like that. Yeah. I was like, you know what? Don't even pay that. Don't even pay it. Like, unless the servicer says something, then, so that's what, I mean, obviously we're a hard money fund. We need to make money too, but at the same time, like, we care about your guys' situation. I don't want you to pay 2 points or 1 point for an extension when you're going to close in 5 days, nobody's going to foreclose on you in 5 days. So, and we'll make sure of that, especially with our capital partners. We have some kind of control, if it's something like that, where it's like you're 5 days away from closing, you don't need another extension to pay like thousands of dollars. So, we can kind of hold them back and be like, guys, just settle down. You're gonna, they're gonna close out the loan. We'll be all good, So, and I think that having the multiple exit strategies, especially for a deal like that, is crucial. And luckily, you guys were prepared for that, because permitting can be, it's very negligent, in my opinion, on the city. But nobody should wait 17 months for a permit, period. And that's why we got to get Richie elected, and then we can fix that problem, right, Richie? So
Richie for mayor.
Exactly. So did you guys have a deal you wanted to talk about today, or you want to just keep rolling? Because I got a bunch of questions too. So either way you guys want to go.
Yeah, I can add on to Prospect. Let's see here. There's a lot of lessons learned for us on that one. I think having that third option, a lot of investors, or for us, we go into a deal and there's usually just 2 exit strategies on the board or on the table, right? It's fix and flip or buy and hold, usually. So you just got to remain fluid, right? The situation, especially these long-term projects, can change, in a matter of, like anywhere from 2 to 6 months, right? And that's what was happening with us. Things were changing. The permit process wasn't going according to plan. So we looked at our options and found that third exit strategy and said, let's give this a try and let's see if it sticks. And lo and behold, it worked out for us. So I think that's a key takeaway for a lot of projects, is just to remain fluid. A lot of times we tend to get boxed in our mindset in terms of, this is what I meant to do. It's not working. What am I doing now? And we get stuck and get frustrated. But there's always, I think the basis of our business is being solution focused, right? In terms of when we're working with sellers or homeowners that are in distress, how do we creatively come up with solutions? And that's the same mindset we had towards the end of the Prospect, is what's the solution to this problem? So yeah, that's wanted to add to Prospect on that one.
Yeah, and it's so key. And that's why having multiple exit strategies is very important. Also making sure you buy right, because you guys held it for over like about 17 months, right? And even with that, I mean, you bought right, so the mortgage wasn't that expensive. You weren't bleeding that much. I mean, I don't know what the soft costs were for the permitting, but I can't imagine it was over like 30 to 40 grand, was it?
No, for the sewer, so far it's like, I think around 3,000.
3,000? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was just for the sewer. We didn't. I was gonna pull permits for the house later, but I didn't want to spend that money until we find out, hey, how soon can we get the sewer permit first, right?
Right.
So we figured, we focused on that first, and I'm glad we did, because we could have drained money on another permit when everything was contingent on the sewer permit.
Right. Yeah. And okay. So actually, that deal worked out then.
Yeah, it worked out. Yeah, it worked out.
You guys made money on that then, right? Because
yeah,
but we weren't in the red, so that's
Yeah.
a huge win. You know what I mean? And we had, like I said, in terms of takeaways, there were a lot of other lessons that we learned. And for me and Dodge, every time we take a lump on the head, we're always asking ourselves, what did we learn at least? And it's like a continuous education, right? We're constantly paying for our college tuition when we take those lumps, right? But ideally, we don't want to take those hard lessons. Ideally, we want to see the green, land in the green at the end of it, and move on to the next one.
Yeah, and honestly, there's no shame in losing money on a deal. I mean, we never want to do that, but it happens to the best of us. It's happened to us. I've shared our stories, right? And if you do this long enough, it's bound to happen. So where you get stuck, and sometimes it's circumstances that are not of your control, and it's okay. But and sometimes you make mistakes, and we learn from them. But there's no shame in it, because at least you're in the game. Some people don't jump off the sidelines. There's people that have been on the sidelines for years and haven't pulled the trigger. So that's, in my opinion, even worse. So credit to everybody that's taking risks and putting themselves out there. And if you get nice paydays, hopefully, that you deserve every single dollar of that. And kudos to you for you guys to, push through some of the big projects. So did you guys have another project to talk about? What do you guys have going on right now?
So right now we have, I think our biggest one we're excited about, and this is with Caroline. She's here with us today on Coffee Talk. We're doing our first new ground up. We're doing 2 single families, each is about 2,000 square foot. So total new build is about 4,000 square feet of new construction out in Waianae. So permits took a little bit longer than we wanted to, but we're able to get everything squared away. So we broke ground last month, and we're hitting our milestones. So we're excited about that one.
Where in Waianae?
It's right there on the corner of Waianae Valley Road and Mill Street.
Okay.
Not too far from Pokai Bay. So it's actually in the same block where Jack in the Box restaurant is. Yeah.
So are you guys, is it it's 2 houses, but you said 4,000 square feet. Is that 2,000 each?
Yep.
Attached like a duplex?
Yeah, duplex style. Yeah. So attached with the wall right in the middle. So we're excited. We're just trying to get it. We're targeting to get it ready by summertime. So get it on the market while the market is hot right now.
Yeah. What's the specs on those houses? 2,000 square feet, bed, bath, how much?
So each unit is about 3, 2, 2.5.
3, 2.5 each side.
Each side.
And what are you guys gonna? What's your ARV on each one?
Right now, I think we're mid 700s. We're looking mid 700s. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds about right. Even Waianae and Makaha side, the values are going up like crazy. So Ashley was able to get 4 of ours, 40,000 over asking, and we were in contract within a week. And ours it's 1,100 square feet, 3 bed, 2 bath. So smaller houses, but my original target was 489, I believe, or 499. And so I'm surprised. Now's the time to sell. Now's the time to get on market and sell. And I'm sure you guys are gonna make out amazing on that one. Would love to hear more later.
Yeah,
You guys have a
yeah, we're excited about that one. So we were supposed to start like a week earlier, but then my tenants, we had to move them out. They need a little bit more time to move and find a new place. And they had a lot of animals. They had over 100 chickens, I think, and 5 dogs. So it was a challenge trying to find them a place, but they were able to relocate. And we also, I'm grateful for my partners because, you know, I told them, I don't think they have money for where they're going. So if they're okay with us fronting a deposit and 2 months rent. And so, you know, I'm grateful that they were on board, you know, because, you know, when you have opportunities where you can help others, you know, I believe it behooves us to do that. So we're able to help them move and get them into a nice apartment and help them financially get on their feet and, you know, get started.
Yeah. And that's awesome because it does matter that whoever you're in business with, especially a partner, you know, across the board, like a partnership like you guys have, to be in line, not with, you know, the vision for the business, but vision for how you want to go about business. And, you know, I say this a lot, but I mean, I don't think it can be said enough. It's easy to make money, you know, like it's easy to make money. It's not easy to make a difference.
Get a copy. If he can't get a copy, then
Kiko, you gotta mute, bro. So I mean, we all know we're investors, entrepreneurs at heart.
Yeah. It's
And
basically just like 4 or 5.
Hold on. Kiko, let me mute this guy. I can't mute him.
Well, we actually sincerely thought that we had the.
Sorry, he's got host controls.
So that's why we were just taking.
Alex, can you call this guy?
Research on that.
No, this is good. We're getting inside access to behind the scenes.
Yeah. Nah, he's organizing dinner plans probably or something. I don't know if this guy works.
I'm listening for the F-bomb. I'm listening for the F-bomb.
Well, let me see if I can talk over him. So yes, it's easy to make money in my opinion. Like we all know how to make the dollar. We all know how to invest and get a return on investment, but really like what we're here to do as well is make a difference, you know, and sometimes it's not easy. So
I've been doing this for 20 years.
Kudos to you guys.
That stuff happens all the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, you know,
but yeah, no, we
had the opportunity, so we figured, you know, let's make good on that opportunity and you know, sometimes, you know, we hope that, you know, we get that person in return. It's always great to, if you're in a position to help others in need, you know, do it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, definitely a testament to Dodge's and
see what you can
values, right? Treat others.
Okay, sounds good. Let's stay in touch.
You know, so earlier when you were talking about if anybody wanted to share a good deed, that was definitely something I wanted to share, but wasn't sure if Dodge is comfortable putting that out there. But he did a lot more than that. So you know, even the day of move, he loaded up his truck like with their personal belongings and took time out of his day to move them as well. So it was more than just money. It's just Dodge took a genuine interest in making sure that they were taken care of, you know, up until we started construction. So so kudos to Dodge.
Yeah. And but also to you guys too, because I mean, obviously it's a partnership, right? So we don't want to make those type of decisions by ourselves, but I'm sure Dodge, when you were faced with that decision to make, like you know, it's the right thing to do is to call your partners and you know, ask their opinion and stuff. But I could assume that you kind of already knew their answer, right? And it's to say going to be in line with yours, and you know, let's help these people and make a difference. You know, not just be here to take down the house, renovate it, and put the money in the bank. So.
Yeah. And I don't want to be taking credit. Like, I was one on point. So I'm sure if Edgar or Caroline was on point, they would have done the same thing, you know. So I was just at the forefront of that, and you know, and like you mentioned, I automatically knew they were going to be on board, but out of courtesy, I always wanted to make sure I get that permission from them to make that call. So yeah, you know, everything worked out really well.
Yeah, and it always brings a smile to my face and warms my heart when I hear stories of that, because I know it happens all the time with everybody on the call, you know, and because there is a stigma among real estate investors that, you know, we're here to make money and gentrify neighborhoods and stuff. And that's not the case, you know. For the majority of investors, especially those on this call, we're not just here to make money. We're here because it fulfills us. I feel that, you know, of course we all want to take down the whale of the deal, but I think deep down in our hearts, it's like it fulfills us, right? It's a people business, and we get to build relationships and nurture them and learn from each other. And it really is. It sounds kind of cheesy and corny, but it really is about the journey, you know. And Alex and I talk about this all the time. It's like, man, when we're done, you know, if that day ever comes, we're gonna have a lot of stories. And Alexander already has a lot of stories. If you ever sit down with this guy, you could stories all day long. And but there's more to come, you know, and that's really why I love this business, is we can have conversations like this and hear stories, share stories, and you know, war stories sometimes, and it's really inspiring. So can you guys tell us an example of a deal that you've done recently, and maybe like how you found it, what you did? If you have any pictures, feel free. You guys can share, you know, I can share screen with you, or you guys, I can send you controls, you can share screen.
Yeah, I like to touch up on the Manoa one, if you don't mind.
Oh, I would love that. Okay, wait. Can you share screen right now, or do I gotta make you host?
Keikoa probably has to do it.
He gave me controls, so.
Yeah, so I think you just gotta click on the three dots at the top.
Yep, here we go.
And then it comes over to me, right?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Actually,
guys, what do you think about Keiko Chronicles as the name of our book? We'll allow all of our borrowers to make a chapter as well, because you guys are going to be a part of our story. So I think it'd be a pretty neat idea.
That's a great idea. I love that.
Sorry, you guys still see my screen?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So the Manoa one, we bought this. I don't know if you guys see that. You guys see that? Hello?
Yeah, your screen's on.
Oh, this one looks so badass.
Oh my gosh.
So this is before we spent like a week cutting trees, because literally it was Tarzan's house, right? So this deal was actually found by one of the realtors I work with, and we partnered up with that realtor. So he's part of the team. So we did a joint venture in this project together. But he found it on MLS. I think it was just before it was coming out, and he locked it up straight away. And he called me, and I said, you know what? Let me run some numbers. And then I ran some numbers, and then he's like, you want to go look at it? I'm like, okay, let's go look at it. Man, we had to crawl like underneath trees, because right over here, if you're looking at the photo right now on the right side, there was one big tree kind of like leaning towards the house, and we had to literally crawl underneath that tree to see. I don't know if you guys see the staircase right there on the right side. We had to, like, you know, we were pretty much treasure hunting, trying to get into finding the entrance. So after looking at it, and I told him, you know what, let me go run the numbers again and make sure that, you know, we're good here. So I ran the numbers, and I think we had a projected ROI of 30%. So I say, you know what, 30% is a good number. There's a lot of cushion there for anything, unexpected, for rehab or longer days on market or price reductions.
Is that 30% return on all capital or just your private capital?
No, on all capital.
Wow, that's great.
So we're like, you know what, let's do it. That's a good ROI right there. So I think it might be easier to do it this way. So that was,
and just a heads up, like this is probably the most amazing transformation that I've seen. And I've seen some crazy ones, and we've done some crazy ones, but you guys hit I mean, it doesn't get much better than this.
So this is the old entrance underneath. It was just pretty much outdoor space. And we kept the pond. I don't know if you see over here where this new water we're framing up. There's an existing pond that we ended up keeping and making it part of the interior and exterior, and then we added some koi fish in there. But it turned out cherry. This is
wow.
So you got the stairs walking over the koi pond, going upstairs. So we literally had to reframe about 50% of the roof structure. But we try to keep as much of the original design as possible and just modernize it. Ooh. So right now the lights are blue because we installed throughout the whole house smart lights. So there's over 1 million different colors that you can play with, different scenes and stuff like that. So, but the views are beautiful. That's what really drew us over there was the views.
I love that one.
Hey Don, when you did all your concrete work and your stone work and your cinder block walls, did you use a waterproofing below grade?
Correct. Yeah. We made sure. Yeah, because one of my projects I did was a nightmare one I did in Sunset. I bought the property and it was a split level, and when it rained, the water was running down. And come to find out, they never waterproofed behind that wall. So
beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm when we're doing this, I made sure that our contractors was waterproofing everything. So this was inside. We made that the kitchen.
Whew, man.
So the old kitchen was actually facing the mountainside, but we put it to the other side of the valley. So you could, I told the guys, I said, I'd rather wash dishes facing the valley versus facing the mountainside. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then, so we made this space into the bathroom, right where the AC is. But yeah, it has a nice loft upstairs. I think that's all the photos I was able to curate.
Man, you got to pull up the listing because there's more photos and it's beautiful.
Let me see if I can do that right now.
That little koi pond, that's an awesome feature.
That one right there, yeah. Okay. Let me see if I should be getting it on. So right now we're in escrow, close to what our asking price was. So we're grateful for that.
Amazing.
So
hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
Dodge, where'd you get the railings? The wire railing?
Yeah, so this railing here came with the staircase. They're a Paragon system. The Paragon is the vendor, and they're prefab, right? So they come with it. But because some of the design kind of changed during construction, the rest of the other railings needed to be fabricated on site, custom, right? So I had this young Finnish carpenter. He's a little bit younger than me. But he does really great work. He was very, he was scared. He wasn't confident that he could do it. So, you know, being a entrepreneur, I'm like, you know what? I can coach you, man. You can do this. You got this. So yeah, it came out beautiful. He was able to that was all done here in Hawaii by this young kid. He's probably in his mid-20s. But that was all custom. That was all him. You know, I helped him get the confidence to do things that he wouldn't otherwise do.
Right.
That makes any sense.
There's that good deed. All about
Another
it.
good deed.
All about it.
Oh, does it come with the Pac-Man machine?
Oh yeah, it does. Where is it? Yeah.
That's awesome. Man,
So
I love the finishes.
This one is it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. About 2,800 square feet.
Wow. So what, you gotta go to the house every day to feed the fish or what?
No. Thankfully, I don't have to do that. But we take turns sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they get mosquitoes or what? They eat the mosquitoes?
No, they eat fish food, I guess.
Fish food.
So, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
So yeah, this was taken during New Year's Eve. Not as much action as Waipahu and Waianae, but it was good enough, you know, for the area.
Man, what a beautiful renovation. And nobody else, like, so a property like that, I mean, I don't know how long that property vacant when you bought it?
Yeah, so the story was the sellers vacated about 20 years ago. So yeah, they just up and left. What happened was the daughter, they had a teenage daughter in there that passed away in the house, and she overdosed on drugs, and they weren't sure if it was incidental or accidental. But I guess the family just didn't feel comfortable living in the house, so they just up and left. So literally when we took over, it's pretty much like you're walking through time, because they had all their furniture in there, clothes and appliances. So after cutting the trees, we actually took like a week and a half, I think, of just taking out all the old, you know, furniture and stuff.
So it was vacant for 20 years.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a prime example of what we always talk about. It's like this is the value that we bring to the market, because that property was sitting vacant for 20 years. Hawaii we are in need of housing, and there's no inventory really. I mean, today is a prime example. There's no inventory, and a piece of property like that in a prime location, nobody else would be able to do that except for guys like you know, you guys, your team, people on this call. That's the value we bring to the market and to our local economy, right? Because now there's a new family moving in, and I hope that house serves them well for many, many, many years, right? And if you guys didn't do what you've done, then, you know, it's just another waste of space in our island, you know. So we got to remember that, you know, and you guys took huge risk. I mean, that's a big project. Many people, I mean, maybe would just scrape that thing and maybe try to build something new, but to renovate and not just renovate, but renovate it to this, you know, this caliber, like that's amazing. And it's inspiring.
Yeah, so when we first bought it, we had a couple contractors come look at it. One contractor pretty much wanted to scrape the whole thing and start from new. And I said, nah, that's not going to happen, you know, because we had a structural engineer in here, and he said that we can salvage at least 70% of the structure, right? But anyways, his bid came in at $1 million. just for the rehab. And I got another contractor, and when my first impression of this contractor was like, oh, this guy, he looks like the small kind, you know, I don't think he can handle this, but I liked his price better. You know, we ended up doing a whole rental at about $650. But it came out cherry, like, you know, and he's actually our go-to contractor right now.
Nice.
The cool thing about it, we actually had 3 bids. On the 2 highest, they wanted 50% upfront. You know, so the one with $1 million wanted like 500 upfront. The other one was closer to 700, and he wanted about 50% upfront. And I've said, no, you got to start it yourselves, and then we'll do the draws from the Harmony loan, right? But they said, no, it's gonna work this way. And I'm like, you know, but I got this small guy contractor. He's a licensed contractor, Tongan guy from Kalihi. And I said, hey, can you carry this work for a couple of weeks until I can start pulling draws from the Harmony loan? And he said, yeah, no problem. I'm like, wow, you know, so I went with him, and yeah, we were able to, you know, knock it out of the park. I didn't need to hire, you know, an expensive contractor that wanted more upfront, you know, but, you know, we're able to do or accomplish what we accomplished. So
that's a great tip to have. If you build the relationship enough to where your contractor is willing to front load the initial start for you, that's huge, because then you don't have to factor that into your, you know, your money out of pocket or your gap raising, because you can start the draw process right away. So that's a great tip. Just ask. Why not ask your contractor if they can start, you know, and do the first tranche of work first?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think just to end, I wanted to share that highlight. It's yeah, since from acquisition to an escrow, it's been about a couple of years now. So the 30% ROI, you know, was a safe number for us to, because who knew the pandemic was going to hit, right?
Yeah.
Because this pandemic, you know, before it turned into a seller's market, we came on board on a market when people were holding on to their money. So, you know, I'm glad that, you know, I stuck with a conservative number and made sure that we had enough to come out on the other side. So we're in escrow right now, close to asking, but yeah, we're making some money on it for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, guys. That's an amazing transformation. Probably the best I've seen, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's the best, like the craziest one I've seen. So
appreciate it. Thank you.
Very inspiring. And where can, I guess, people who want to connect with you, you know, possibly partner and do deals with you guys or invest with you guys? Like, what's the best way to contact you guys?
Yeah, I'm also on social media, so, you know, I know you guys tagged me on the post on Facebook. So yeah, you can reach out to me there, and then I can share our phone numbers, emails, and then kind of go from there.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you guys for first of all, I mean, taking the leap. You guys have similar stories, right? Taking the leap and charging forward, and you're definitely. One thing I think I get from you guys, from hearing your guys' story and also seeing your work and the type of projects you take down, is you're not afraid, you know. And sometimes having that fear, the little bit of fear, like how you're driving home, kind of thinking of how you're gonna, you know, tell the wife, that it's very necessary to have the fear, because it keeps you in check, you know. And it's when you think you know everything and you're so confident where you're not afraid, that's when, you know, things can go wrong, right? I think we need that to keep us grounded. And just seeing this it's an amazing transformation, very inspiring, and thank you guys for sharing.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for having us on board. I apologize if we took longer than what you guys usually do, but great.
No, it's fine, man.
To share, you know, but, you know, we're not what's the word? We're still learning our, we're still trying to master our craft. We won't label ourselves as the guys that know everything, because every project that we do, man, there's always something new that we learn from it. And we're actually always calling other investors like Richie, Keone, like, hey, how'd you guys do this? Or have questions, they call us too. So feel free to reach out to us if you guys have any questions and stuff. We'd be more than happy to share our experiences, because we've learned a lot just from experiencing some of the good and the bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys are just a pleasure to work with, to be honest. And I definitely encourage people on the call who may want to invest or something to reach out to you guys and maybe start doing some deals together, because you're a team that I see doing some great things, great work, and also doing business, in my opinion, the right way. So we're here for you, cheering you on, and we look forward to seeing the next one, man. And hopefully in a little while we bring you guys on again and talk about another one. So good luck with the one in Waianae, and really appreciate you guys sharing today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and please pass along my thanks to Dulcie as well.
Let's get out and vote for Richie. Remember, guys, Richie for mayor.
Richie, homework for next week. You got to have your slogan, your tagline, like the "Make America Great Again."
yeah, we'll figure something out.
We'll hold you accountable. Otherwise, I'm going to nominate Keone.
Hey guys, just real quick before everyone takes off, everyone take a second, drop your Instagram handles down in the chat box. That way, because we're a community here that likes to support each other, and we all want to see what everybody's up to. So drop your taglines in there, and then we can all follow each other. Just another way to support one another. And then I know we're getting ready to sign off on this call. We're going to hang out, but guys, please pay the fee. We just ask for you to share this call with one person, whether it be a Facebook group, a direct person, or a friend, a family member that we want to get on board. And hey, especially those guys that that were part of our families that were the naysayers. Look, this is an opportunity for you to show them that, look, there's communities out there with people that support each other and want to help each other grow and accomplish all the things that we set out to do as individuals. And now that we're accomplishing them, let's grab them. Tide raises all ships, right? So we want to be the rising tide, and we want to raise all ships, including the ones that doubted us in the beginning. Just because they doubted us doesn't mean they don't deserve a second chance of jumping on board with us. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining us. Looking forward to next week.
Aloha, everybody. Oh, Dodge, can you send me controls back, please?
Yeah.
And thank you guys for hopping on. Have a great Aloha Friday and a great weekend. And we'll see you guys next week. We're gonna hang out for a little while if you wanna stick around. But
hey, how do I do that?
Seeing you guys. What is that, Dodge?
How do I hand over control?
I think you might have to click on the 3 dots for me. Yeah. And then make host or something.
You got it.
There it is. I see it. Okay. Passing over it right now. Should have it.
Dodge, who did your staging? Because your staging on that property was amazing too.
Oh, it was my partner on that one, JJ, the realtor.
Man, crushed it.
I saw in the chat that we had a Cami who says she's new, is a stager as well. So I don't think she's on the line anymore, but yeah, great stagers are hard to come by. So
she's done some awesome work, and she's done some work for me, staged my 2 properties, and one she's got about a $6 million project that she's got going on now. So she's an amazing stager.
Awesome. Hi, Caroline. Good to see you. And good to hear that you guys are partnering up, and you're partnering up with Dodge and Edgar and Dulcie. Can't wait to see the finished product.
The thing is that they are so awesome in willing to share and to teach. And so that's one of the things that I love about this community but especially about Dodge and Edgar. They're, you know, willing to teach.
Yeah. Yeah. I truly feel grateful for kind of the community that we've all built together here, because it doesn't matter if I'm talking to Daniel, Richie, maybe Craig over there, or Greg. You know, I met so many great people who have the same mindset as us. And there's too many people where I can just say that we're lucky that we've, you know, met great people. Like, it's not luck. Like, we really do, I think, attract the right people into our lives. And, you know, I'm just grateful. There's no other words to put it other than that. And like Alex says, like, the more people we bring in, the stronger we'll be, you know, and we'll make sure to keep control of the culture of our community. That's the most important thing. And sometimes when you grow too big, it's hard to contain and control, but we'll make sure that doesn't happen, you know. So this call and the group that we've built through our network is probably our biggest asset, you know, and we've got millions of dollars of assets, you know, hard assets, real estate, but the real value is right here on this call with everybody here. And we got a lot of smart people, even those who don't, you know, they're here to listen in and watch. There's a lot of smart people in this room, and I'll tell you something. Within this Zoom call, I know for a fact, and I can't speak about it, you know, publicly, because there is like NDAs and stuff like that. But there's some big deals going on with people in this call, and you know, probably they're north of multi-9-figure deals that people in this call are doing. I'll just put it that way. And you know, they're not, even though there's NDAs and stuff out there, and kind of you have to hold information. I know that's going on, and people here within our community are taking down those type of deals, and they probably wouldn't speak about it themselves, right? But that's the power that we have in this group. Just FYI for everybody. So I hope we continue to grow this community, and sky's the limit, you know. So I want to hear from Charlie over there. What's up, Charlie? Great to see you on camera again.
Yeah, no worries, man. I figure I mean, each week I tell myself I'm going to jump on this call, but I can't do anything now because everything's iced over in Texas. So I got to wait till it melts.
You're my Texas guy, man. I was asking earlier if there's anybody in Texas, like, what's it like right now?
It's melting fast. So, I mean, right now it's about 45 degrees outside. So, I mean, the only thing is, you know, Texas really doesn't have any, you know, anytime it snows and ice is over, we just got to wait until it all melts. So it'll be completely melted by the end of the weekend. So next week, back to business.
Back to normal. I mean, they would declare
I don't know back to normal, but I mean, back somewhat.
Yeah. Did they declare it like a national, or not national, but a natural disaster, like emergency relief, like people needed, or was it that bad?
Okay, so they may have, but here in Dallas, Fort Worth, I mean, everything is, just from what I see, everything's fine. I mean, okay. I have friends that when water was back up and running, their pipes burst. So I know, like, you know, a handful of people that, you know, once the freeze went out and they were able to turn water back on, their pipes burst. But I don't really know anyone that's really suffered too much, you know.
Yeah.
I just know Texas isn't built for the snow, so that's about it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So Dallas, Fort Worth, okay. So whatever happened to Ted Cruz? Like, is he back in Texas now, or did he run?
I don't know. I imagine he's in Austin somewhere.
Man, that guy caught so much heat. I saw him on the news. It's like, wow, this guy can't even vacation or whatever. But hey, look, when you're the leader, like you don't run, you know, like I see it both sides. I mean, I got no opinion to be honest, like, but yeah, that wasn't a good look.
Yeah, for sure, man. But I mean, I mean, just for us, we were lucky. We didn't lose power. We didn't lose water. So we were fine the whole time. It's just we couldn't really go anywhere.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, just real quick with that for everybody on the call. Thanks, Charlie. I gotta ask. Bitcoin, yes or no? Who's got opinions on Bitcoin? I know I got my Bitcoin guys on here. Where's Dante? Dante, no. Daniel, do you have Bitcoin, Daniel?
I've got a bunch of friends who are into it. Like personally, I don't have any, but I'm a huge like proponent of it. But I feel like my money is better invested in like active real estate right now. So that's more like a passive thing, you know. So same with the stock market or whatever. But I'm high in Bitcoin.
Yep. Yeah, me too. I used to have Bitcoin. I think I bought in at like 7,000 and then I sold out.
But the thing is, you look at those crazy runs, like when did you buy it for 7,000?
That was right when it was like getting mainstream and peaking.
Like if you took that same money and you just invested it actively in real estate,
you're
gonna make way more, you know. So I mean, like nothing against it, but the active investment of your same money in like your deals will net you like the ROI will be higher. Like, but then if you want to do passive or something, like when you retire, when you're like just sitting on the beach and you just want, hey, I just want all the passive things. That's when you throw into like the Bitcoin or the other fun stuff, right? Because you can't do anything to change the value or the ROI on that. Yeah. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Charlie said he bought 3 years ago. I bought 3 years ago too. So, and he forgot about it. So that's even better because that Bitcoin wallet must be looking pretty nice. But the thing with Bitcoin, it's the technology behind it, right? It's the blockchain technology. Like that, I feel like if that starts to, and I mean, we see it with the whole GameStop fiasco. Like now it's showing us the true value of the technology that it could be implemented and hopefully help. I don't know though, because I don't know if the government will just roll over and kind of let it happen. I don't know. Like that's why I would like to get people's opinions. I try to study it like a little bit here and there, but I don't know enough for sure.
Funny story. There's a guy that in Cali, I guess they have like the marijuana's legalized, right, and stuff. And so like there's some that goes out the front door of the whatever dispensaries, and some that goes out the back door of the dispensaries. And then when it goes out the back door, you pay in Bitcoin. That's like how you can avoid any kind of taxes or any kind of like tracking and your stuff. So I mean, I feel like it's not to say that it's but like it's, if those kinds of things are involved, I mean, it's just a matter like everybody's gonna be using it because of those kinds of stuff or whatever. So.
Yep. Yeah. It's an interesting thing to keep an eye on because what if I think PayPal, Cash App, they're all going into cryptocurrency. I think even JP Morgan Chase is embracing the blockchain technology. So when you start to see where the money goes and what moves they make, you kind of want to be right behind them, like. I
mean, Elon Musk bought 1.5 billion of it. So, I mean, if he's
I know.
I mean, like, yeah, you gotta like the guy what that guy bets on, so.
Yep. Yeah. So of course, like $1.5 billion they bought in Bitcoin. And why did they do that? There's a bunch of strategies that I've seen put out there, but that's definitely something now you definitely got to take a look at it, and Elon Musk is probably one of the most important, figures of our lifetime for sure. And I want to invest in SpaceX, but if anybody knows how to invest in SpaceX right now, like please let me know. I know that you can through like companies like I think Google has a share of SpaceX. They invested in SpaceX. It's a private company, right? So you have to it's only open privately. And I think Google, there's a couple other companies I forget, but if you can invest in those companies, maybe you can kind of ride the tailwinds. But I'd like to be able to invest in SpaceX.
Did you see that he's accepting pre-signups for his worldwide internet already now? And he made more money with his Bitcoin purchase than he has his entire time selling Teslas. And he's going to take Bitcoin for Tesla purchases now.
Yeah. I never heard of that. That's amazing. He's made more on the Bitcoin investment he just made.
Yeah.
Than the life of earnings for Tesla.
Yeah.
Wow. That's something to say.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of the major credit card companies are coming out with their own blockchain technology as well. I've been reading that Visa's working on one, American Express. So I think it's going to have to be adapted by the US, and then the US is probably going to have their own coin. I was talking with someone the other day, and I was saying an interesting thought is to think about a lot of our children, like us that don't have kids yet. When we do have our children, when they're 18, there's not going to be cash. Cash will probably be non-existent.
I was thinking about that too, like that. And then what's sad is like games like Monopoly, like when you bust out the Monopoly with your kids, you'll be like, "What is this? I don't understand it. Where's the credit card?"
Oh man. Hey, you know what we should do? We should do like a I don't know, once a month like cash flow game online. Is that possible? Can you play cash flow online?
Yeah, you can.
The only thing is that game's kind of long. So
it's way faster online than it is regular.
Oh, is it faster online?
Yeah, because you don't have to do the math, man. It's just done automatic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
part of the fun though is just getting together in a room, and just hanging out. And,
yeah. It might take away from that.
Online, but I mean, it's different than when you're around the round table, and it's just like the pen to paper or whatever you do, and then just doing deals in person. There's nothing like that. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I really wish I could have joined you guys, man. I wish. Hopefully, we'll set up another.
We're there till reach you at like 2 a.m. Everybody's wives are calling them.
2 a.m. Wow, I definitely missed out.
Yeah, I got home almost 3 o'clock.
Wow, man.
Richie's lobbying for votes.
So like high school again, like sneaking in the house.
My mom was mad when I stayed out when I got home. She was like, "You stayed out too late," so I got in trouble.
Well, I wasn't drinking, so that was a good thing.
Daniel, what'd you do for Valentine's Day?
My family, we did like a Colina staycation, so like it was we got the flowers, the typical stuff. But I mean, we hung out the whole weekend at in Colina. So we went to what was that, the restaurant over there, Long Eves, I think. So
Yep. I love Colina. I haven't been there. Is it still called the Ihilani?
No, I think there's like a different one. So there's a Colina, and we say the Marriott Colina, whatever that is.
Okay,
so
the Colina, yeah.
But Colina is the whole kind of complex and stuff. But yeah, there is still, I think the Ihilani changed to 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I used to go there as a kid, like all the time with my family, and man, I missed that side. So
it's nice. I mean, like plus the social distancing actually makes it a little nicer because there's like less people, everything's spaced out. You got to reserve your poolside things. I mean, there's just way less people, even though like it sucks. But I mean, at the same time, just more relaxing because you're just like, it's just less people all around.
Yeah. Man, well, where'd you guys have that event? Was it at one of Indar's places or something?
Yeah, it was at his Kailua, the Kailua house where Alex was staying.
Gotcha.
The one he's still trying to close permits on, Ralph. Poor guy.
Oh.
Close,
Richie, hurry up.
ready, but the
Hey,
permits.
already told him what to do, so he might close pretty soon. Oh yeah, we'll implement it once you guys vote me in.
Hey, go. Okay, homework, Richie. You gotta come up with your tagline, and you gotta get your sign so we can go wave. We go wave everybody. Vote for Richie.
You know, at that mastermind, I actually shared one of the struggles, right, that we all struggle was about the permitting, right? We joke about it and whatnot, but it's literally a serious thing that's hindering us, right? So like one of my goals was actually like in my goal setting was trying to figure out, and I did a SWOT analysis, obviously on my business, and trying to figure out like what is the main one of the threats. And it's actually Department of Planning and Permitting. So I'm like, what is the solution? So one of the things I brought up was like, what about banding together as an investor community? And actually, because Blanche Giardi is actually in a new regime, are we able to have a true sit down with him? Because he's a businessman, but I want to show all the money that's being left on the table. We do deals, one-off deals, but you band us all together. This is multi-million dollars that actually we can stimulate the economy, not just money, but also, as you spoke about, and we preach this, it's actually bringing inventory back. You know what I mean? So like we have a lot on the table besides the DR Horton guys and Atlases and that they have bulk, right? But you put us all together on what we're struggling with. Will they be able to listen to us truly? Not just have a sit down and like fall on deaf ears, but like trying to make an impact, you know, like something like this, like really serious. And like, I don't think we have to spearhead anything because there's a bill already that's out there, right? So there at this mastermind that we had this week, there are some good ideas. I'm just trying to figure out, and I don't mind spearheading and leading this thing. I'm just looking to talk to like my peers and all of us, like there's something here because obviously this is the struggle for every, I know we're recording, so like every deal, right? And it's like, I don't know what's going on at the top level there, but there's obviously some shenanigans going on that obviously it's been going on for like years. So how do we break this, right? Because this is holding us back and this is a threat, you know? Anyways, that was my 2 cents and still trying to figure this out, but there's some great ideas and I'm not messing around. We got to do something, man.
Lieutenant